Okay, so let's talk about Tableau ServiceNow integration, the webinar, which is hosted by AlphaServe and its US subsidiary ACSoft. Just a few words about our company as the organizer. We are ServiceNow build partner in the platform segment since 2021. We currently have 2 integration apps on the ServiceNow store, one of which will be presented today to you. But basically, we are in the software development field since 2003. And besides ServiceNow partnership, we are also Atlassian Platinum partner, Zendesk Tech partner, Monday.com Marketplace partner, and Shopify App Store developer. So as you see, we professionally develop applications for professional software. Our core competence lies in data extraction and transformation. That is why the heart of our portfolio is the BI connectors for ServiceNow, Jira, Zendesk, Monday.com, and Shopify. And basically, we have Power BI connectors in our portfolio, Tableau connectors, and others. And we are already proud to be chosen by known companies and government institutions as our clients. Just a few words to introduce ourselves. My name is Anna, and I will be one of the speakers today. I'm responsible for the strategic business development, marketing, and partnerships at AlphaServe. So I'm the business person, not the technical one. I will be speaking about the business topics today. And I have my colleague Lyubov with me, who is techie actually, and I think she can introduce herself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Lyuba Topchi. I'm responsible for the quality assurance processes and for the technical support, and we'll be happy to answer any kind of technical questions during this webinar and after the webinar as well.
Great. So yeah, Lyuba will be presenting the demo today. So briefly about our agenda, what to expect. We'll try to be strict to timing because we respect your time that you devoted to this presentation. I would invite you to put the questions in the chat if you have any during the slides, and after we finish the presentation and the demo, we would be happy to answer all of them. So we'll start with a brief introduction about the use of ServiceNow for business analytics. Then we switch to a few whys the company used Tableau for ServiceNow reports. And then we will cover the integration options which can integrate ServiceNow and Tableau. And in the final end, you will see the demonstration of Tableau Connector for ServiceNow as one of the options which can integrate those 2 solutions. And as I mentioned, in the end, we'll have some time for a Q&A session. So let's start. Why normally people consider using ServiceNow as a data source for business analytics? As you all may know here, ServiceNow provides a comprehensive and centralized platform to manage various IT and non-IT related business processes. That's why this software collects data from various sources such as incidents, requests, changes, problems, assets, service catalogs, and many others. So having all this data as a data source for business analytics and including ServiceNow in the landscape of your data for business analytics can be really valuable. And here are the few points. The first and the most important one is that the data-driven decision-making is much better when you can have a complete view of business and its operations. You can have a more precise and timely decisions. The ability to have real-time data is also very important. So as you know, ServiceNow collects and stores numerous millions of records in real time, and the records are created on a daily basis every minute during the business hours. And having all this data available for analytics enable businesses to access and analyze the latest information instantly, which is very important to take decisions on the latest data, not on the obsolete one. This helps to identify and resolve the issues which arise, optimize resources, put priorities, and make proactive decisions. And of course, the customizable dashboards can provide real-time insights into the KPIs which your company prefers to measure and allow you to track progress towards the business goals which were set before. Why normally companies prefer to consider Tableau for ServiceNow reporting? It's a very good alternative to the built-in ServiceNow reporting due to the key features of this software product. First of all, the data visualization. Tableau allows to create powerful and visually appealing data visualizations, which can really help users quickly and easily understand the complex data assets, drill down, build the appealing dashboards and reports that can be comprehensive and easily readable by all the teams and team members. Then the flexibility, which means that the users can easily drag and drop data elements. They can create calculated fields, customize reports layouts. Users can build reports on the current situation to see the metrics and KPIs as is at a certain moment of time. And additionally, Tableau allows to build reports based on historical data to monitor the performance during the certain period of time, to see the traction, to use custom tables, etc. So the abilities of this reporting is much more appealing at a first glance. Then the integration. Tableau allows to integrate with a wide range of data sources, not only ServiceNow, but it allows to fetch data from other software, other systems, and it is very easy to bring data from multiple sources and create unified reporting for all business functions, having consolidated reports in one single tool, not multiple reports in different software. Then the performance. Tableau is known for its fast performance, even what is important for ServiceNow, especially even when working with the large data sets. And additionally, it has the schedule to refresh option, which can really optimize time and efforts for the reports update. The best practice is when companies just schedule the refresh, for example, at 7 a.m. and when they come to the office at the morning meeting or in the daily stand-up meeting, they already have all of their reports newly refreshed and updated, and ready for the meeting and the discussion. And the last point which I'd like to mention is that it's very good for collaboration, as Tableau allows to share reports which were created and collaborate on data analysis, even without having access into the ServiceNow instance, as the reports can be published elsewhere and shared with the relevant shareholders, and you do not need to provide them access inside of your ServiceNow instance. This can be really interesting for the managed service providers, for example, when they manage and run several customers inside of their ServiceNow instance, and they need to build a monthly report for each of these customers. And every customer definitely has its own requirements, its own expectations on the report, and all the data is in the single ServiceNow instance. Thus, it's possible to build several reports, take into consideration all the requirements of every customer, and make the report exactly as every customer wants it to be. So this is just a simple example provided, by the way, by Tableau itself of the ServiceNow dashboard built in Tableau. This is just an example for you to understand how it may look like. But of course, it's not everything that is possible. If you're interested, and if that seems really reasonable to you to use Tableau for reporting based on ServiceNow data, you definitely need to integrate these two tools, I mean ServiceNow and Tableau software. There are two basic and the most popular options how you can do it. The first one is definitely that you either know or have heard about, is that ServiceNow provides the API, and you can develop a custom integration solution according to your needs, and fetch ServiceNow data through API to Tableau. There are some things that you need to keep in mind considering this integration option, is that it's comparatively complicated. It requires both API development knowledge and Tableau knowledge, and additionally, the person who will be developing this integration needs to pretty good understand the structure of ServiceNow data. and the Tableau requirements to be able to match those two things together. Getting export rights is not trivial, but I must admit that this integration option is really useful for very specific or sophisticated custom solutions and analytics requests when it's not all the requests are not standard, but when it's very specific and sophisticated, this may be the best option for you. You should keep in mind that this integration development requires resources, not only for development, which I've mentioned before, but also for implementation and further support and for documentation of this integration in order you can further develop and support it. But as a good point is that it's free of charge, so the use of API from ServiceNow side is free. But of course, the resources that were allocated for development and implementation can be costly for you. So consider this all together, all the stages, when you are evaluating the integration project. And the second option is suitable for those who do not want to do all the integration development and who do not want a specific or sophisticated solution. Then you can consider our application, which we have developed specially for you and instead of you. For your convenience, it's the Tableau Connector for ServiceNow. It's a built-in Now application, which is available on the ServiceNow store. It's comparatively easy to start using compared to API integration. There are no additional skills required because there are no development required to start using it. We have done everything already. It allows it provides a few very user-friendly features which are important for the data experts, such as advanced filtering, dot walking, which can help you easily navigate through the tables. We as a vendor provide to you with the professional support and the comprehensive documentation guides for your convenience on how to install, configure, and use the application, and describing all the features which we have. But of course, it is a paid solution, which can be purchased with 12 months subscription. If you are interested in this definite product, it can be purchased on the ServiceNow store. You can easily find it in the search tab. It can be purchased from the ServiceNow store only, but additionally, we offer a free 30 days trial for your convenience. You can install the free trial on your sub-production and see how the application works, consider whether if it's suitable for your integration and that data exporting needs. Just for you to know that the basic period of 30 days can be extended upon your request, so you need to drop us a line requesting a trial extension in case you need it. Just for you to know, the application can also be trialed on your PDI on a personal development instance. To get an entitlement for a personal development instance, please send me an email and I will do this for you. You will see our contacts in the final slide in the end, and you'll be able to put them down to have our contacts and send messages regarding this. Just to sum up the key features of the application, what are the main benefits for you as for users who wish to integrate ServiceNow with Tableau? It's the customized data selection. So as I mentioned before, your ServiceNow instance contains millions and millions of records, and you normally do not need all of them to build a certain report. For every report, you need a certain set of data. And our application actually allows to create as many data sources as you need and to customize your data selection for every data source. So you can pick up only the tables and fields which you need for a certain report and export only those data to refresh the definite report in Tableau. We also offer the advanced filtering options to allow you to filter only the data that you need, not to export everything or not to export what you don't need to. As I mentioned, the dot walking mechanism can be helpful to help you to allow you easily navigate through the related tables. And of course, the data security. This is what I'd like to highlight separately, that our application is built with data access permissions in mind. So basically, it allows to the user to export only the data this definite user has access to based on his ServiceNow user roles and permissions, which you as an admin set up. So from this perspective, this application cannot be used as a backdoor to a ServiceNow instance, and the user will not be able to import into Tableau the information which is not permitted for him in your ServiceNow instance. And additionally, we have one more additional step beforehand, that by default of the installation, the application is available only to the ServiceNow admin, and the admin needs to assign specific roles for the user. So you can assign roles only to those ServiceNow users who will be working with the application, and until you do it, the others will not be even seeing it in your ServiceNow instance. So basically, the way for you to start building reports can be the following. So you need to install the app on your ServiceNow instance. Then you'll create your data source. So you pick up the data that you definitely need to fetch from ServiceNow. Application generates a link for this data source. You can copy it, open Tableau using OData data feed, and using the connector's URL. You get your data in Tableau, and you can start building informative ServiceNow dashboards. I would like now to pass my word to Luba. I hope that my speech was interesting and engaging. And now you will be able to see how it looks like actually in action. So the demo is coming.
Thank you, Anna. Yes, thank you, Anna. I'm taking the word here. Let me log in into my ServiceNow instance. Well, as Anna already mentioned, after installation, the application at your sub-production instance, only administrators can find this application, but by assigning some specific roles, specific to Tableau Connector roles, the user who has this role can access the connector and create the connectors. And we developed the portal from where the user can create the new connectors easily. And directly from the portal, admins and user can also get to the documentation Anna already mentioned. And here we have a lot of step-by-step guides that can walk you through all this process about installation, administration, about the roles that should be assigned, for example, that should be used to allow users to work with the connector. Please feel free to refer to this documentation directly from the Power Tableau Connector portal. And let me show you how easy you can create your data source. We have two options to create the data sources, the new from the scratch and new from the report. The report allows you to create predefined number of tables from the reports you have already configured at your ServiceNow instance. I'll show you and start from the creating the data source from the scratch. And actually it's requires just a few informational fields to be entered. I'm going to explore the incidents, but also I'd like to explore the problems and users. So I'm going to call this data source like this. And by default, you can export everything from your ServiceNow according to your permissions. But if you'd like, you can also apply the row limit, and the row limit will limit the number of rows of exported tables. And also you can disable this particular data source from editing by other users if you'd like to apply these settings. We have one more additional option to use the labels instead of the column names. And let me explain what does it mean. So from here, if I'm looking for incidents, I can find the incident table. And if I'm talking about the label, so I'll get this incident, but instead if I'm going to use the name, I get the incident, but with our not capital letter. But if we're talking about the incident fact table, the column will be named like incident underscore fact underscore table. So if you'd like to use just a label instead of the name, you can also apply this setting. Just for your convenience, if you'd like to use these labels. So except the incidents table, I'm going to add the problems as well. And the users. You can add as many tables as you need to your data source, making the data set accordingly to your requirements. And you can find any table that you have access to according to your permissions and export the data from these tables. I have selected few tables, and what I need to do right now, just to select the fields I need for my future dashboards. We strongly recommend you to have some specific requirement before you start to configuring the data set you need for your dashboards. And from here, you can precisely select the field that you actually need. And if we refer to the tables I selected right now, we can get the data from interconnected tables with two ways. For example, if I'm interested in the color data, for example, the person who created the incident, this person probably has some phone, some email, and would like to get this data. We can get this data by connecting incident and users and get the city, email, and all additional information from the users table by connecting these two tables in the Power BI by creating relationships, in Tableau by creating the relationships. But also we can use the dot walking feature our connector allows. You can just press this plus button and get exactly what you need from the users table. And this way, you're going to export additional fields from the users table directly into this incident table as a way as additional columns. I believe this option is much user-friendly than the other one, but there are some use cases where you need to use the relationships between two tables. So please feel free to use both of them. Since all the ServiceNow instances tend to have millions of records, as Anna already mentioned, we understand that the filtering is a really helpful feature here, and you can apply filter according to your requirement, selecting as many conditions as you need, filtering by many parameters here. Adding additional conditions, new criteria, combine all these filtering options. And this way you can narrow down your export results. And this way, of course, increase export, speed up export time. So please feel free to apply the filters. And as you can see, it's pretty configurable and flexible. Let me save the connector here. Didn't provide it with a name. Let me go further. Okay. So as for now, we are ready to go to the Tableau and export the data we selected for this data source. And let me also show you one more option, what you can do to create pre-configured data sources from the report. So if we go to the report, and if you have a list of the pre-configured reports at your instance, you can also select through these reports that one that works for you. Or for example, if you'd like to recreate the same report in the Tableau, you select the report and the application, select the name of this report, of this data source, select the tables and apply the filters. All you need to do just to select the fields that you need, because we believe you don't need everything at once from this report. So we advise you to select the fields according to your requirements. What you need to do after this, just copy the link and switch to Tableau and export the data. Let me copy and go to the Tableau. So here we use the OData for the connection, pasting the URL in the server and providing your ServiceNow credentials and signing in. After you successfully sign in here, you can start to use your data for your future dashboards. Here, we highly recommend you to have somebody who is really familiar with Tableau tools, because Tableau provides really powerful tools for visualization, for data creation. And here, it would be more helpful if you are familiar with these tools. What else to mention here? We have a dedicated place where you can submit a support request. Please navigate to our help desk and raise your question. It can be any kind of the question, probably the feature request or technical issue, or just need some informational support. Please feel free to contact us and we'll be happy to help you with anything. Here, I believe that's all from my side. I'm going to switch to the presentation again. And pass my word to the Anna again.
Yeah, thank you, Luba, for the great demo. I do hope that our attendees got the idea how the product works and how it can be helpful for their business requirements on the ServiceNow reporting outside of ServiceNow and how they can use Tableau for this. So as you see here, our contacts, as mentioned, you can always reach out to us if you have any additional questions after the webinar. I would kindly recommend to start a free trial from the ServiceNow store if you think that this product may be a good fit for your requirements. As I said, it's completely free for 30 days and then can be extended. And there is no commitment from your side for any further purchase after the trial. When the trial expires, it is just deactivated from your instance. And know that the free trial can be used only for your sub-production environments. Are there any questions for us to answer? I don't see anything in the chat at the moment, but on one hand, I assume that maybe everything is that clear, but on the other hand, no questions, nothing is clear. So please, dear guests, leave us your comments and questions. We would be happy to answer. You can put the questions in chat, or you can just speak to us and ask what you want to know more about.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Kay. Thank you guys for this wonderful presentation. I do have a question. While trying to look at connections for ServiceNow, I did see two connectors. The first one I actually saw on my tablet desktop is ServiceNow ITSM, in brackets, deprecated. And then the second one is ServiceNow by Tableau. Is there any difference between these two connectors? And which one is will be the ideal connector?
Are you searching for them from your Tableau?
Yes, from my Tableau.
Okay, and the solution which you've seen today is not in the Tableau, so this is not native one from ServiceNow from Tableau. It's a third-party solution which our company developed, but it can be found on the ServiceNow store, not inside Tableau. So you need to go to the ServiceNow store to search for this application.
Oh, okay, got you.
And one more additional comment from my side. You need to be an admin in order to install this application at your sub-production. So probably if you're not an admin, you need to request your admin to install this application.
Oh, okay. Appreciate it.
Thanks for your question and for the courage to be the first. Anyone else? Any more questions? Okay, we have a comment in the chat from Debbie. Thank you. Thank you for the demo. It looks very helpful to have reporting outside ServiceNow so that users don't need specific access. Yes, that's actually one of the use cases, as I mentioned, when companies need to build reports and share it with different stakeholders, which may not be ServiceNow users. And using external BI tools such as Tableau, for example, or sometimes Power BI is also used for these purposes. Is very useful because you can develop everything that you need, and then you can share it with relevant team members or relevant people outside of your organization, and it's always under your control. So thank you for the comment, and thank you for coming today. Any other questions or comments from you? Okay, then we will be wrapping up. Thank you all for coming today. We do hope that our presentation was valuable. As I mentioned, we'll have a recording of the slides, which you can then, and of the demo, which you can then share with your relevant team members. You will get a short follow-up email with a recording from me in just a few days. And don't hesitate to reach out to us by the contacts that you see on the slide. Feel free to reach out to us in LinkedIn. We publish a lot of useful content on ServiceNow and related to business analytics topics. So thank you for coming. Thank you for your time. And have a great day or evening ahead, depending on which time zone you're in. Thank you.
Thank you.